Hello, I'm Robert Lunte, founder of the Vocalist Studio. I've been training singers and voice coaches for over 25 years. I know a thing or two about what a great vocal training program and what the best coaches are doing and what you need really when you invest in the time and the money to get vocal training. And so I want to share with you the things that you absolutely want to be looking for that are signatures for a great program and a great coach. Okay. The first thing is you want to be working with a coach in a program that has a studio culture and value around training and practicing. Now that might sound a little bit obvious to some of you, but you'd be surprised how many studios out there and coaches out there really don't drive home as a number one priority that if you want to become a great singer, you're going to have to train and practice. In pursuit of training and practicing, one of the things that needs to be recognized immediately on the first day is the need to bridge the vocal break, the passaggio, and connect in the head voice. At the Vocalist Studio, we call this bridging and connecting. So if you're looking at a vocal training program and you're not being exposed immediately on the first day to ideas, concepts, workouts, a sort of a mission statement around bridging the vocal break and singing and belting in the head voice so you can expand your range and sing amazing like we all want to and like the audience wants to hear. So if you're not hearing about that, if that's not part of the language and the talk track on your first lesson, you got a problem, red flag, and be careful, all right? So any vocal training studio must be first and foremost about expanding the range, which means that you got to get through the vocal break and into the head voice, okay? The talk track, the coach, the workouts, the book, the courses, everything involved sort of around that if you want to get great results. The other thing that is super important and really obvious, I think most of you will get this, is make sure that you're working with a school and a coach that can sing.
Life is filled with fear and doubt. A vision left by me, dead and gone, my spirit out. Lord of sadness, don't set me free. I'm telling you, bitter, angry, broken, my soul. Bitter, angry, broken. Bitter, angry, broken, my soul. Bitter, angry, broken.
And or at least demonstrate the workouts that they're giving to you, okay? Again, you need to work with a voice coach that actually can do the things that they're teaching, do the things that they advocate, all right? So find a coach that can sing and a coach that can demonstrate their own workouts, one or the other or both. And I just want to preface this by saying your voice coach doesn't have to be, you know, an outstanding, mind-blowing singer. That's not important. But they do need to be able to carry a tune and be pretty good, all right? So find a coach and a school that leads by example. That's important. Top schools and coaches have a product to offer you, a book, an online course, some sort of content and media that you can get access to through a mobile device, through a PC and a desktop system that allows you to, back to the first point, train and practice. If you're training with a coach or a school that isn't giving you a book or a course or a product and workouts to take home with you outside of the lesson, then another red flag, you got a problem. There's a lot of students out there that have spent a lot of money on voice lessons, and they might get some results in that lesson, some great things might happen, but then after the lesson, they go home and they don't have any content, any workouts, any scales to follow up on the success that they had in the lesson. And that's a huge problem. That creates knowledge decay, and it will lead you to a lot of frustration, possibly a lot of sadness, because you're not really getting lasting results. Okay? So make sure that the coach in school has a product, an online course, a book, scales, and things that you can get to so that you can keep practicing and training after you leave the studio. Now, this next point is a little tricky, and it's sort of the difference between good and great. Make sure that your school, your coach, has a proven methodology. Now, when I say methodology, specifically what I mean by that is typically two things make up a methodology, and that is there has to be some innovation and some invention involved. So the coach or the school should be offering you new innovative ideas you can't get from another coach or another school or from some other area that are proven to work, okay? And those ideas, those techniques need to be organized in a way that is fit into a process, into workflows. You have to be able to go to a course or a book and be able to follow a workflow or a process that takes you down a systematic methodology of innovative and inventive ideas. Find a coach in a school that can offer you that, okay? Versus a program that has a whole bunch of workouts and ideas that might be good ideas, but they're not organized into a process, workflows, and a methodology, which leaves you as a student feeling confused, not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do with the content, okay? You want to work with a coach that's done the research, has thought it through, not only the techniques, but have put it together in a professional instructional design so that you, the learner, can get the most out of the content that they created. In regards to the set of techniques that you might be learning from the school and the coach, it is critical that in that litany of techniques, you are exposed to a concept known as vocal modes. Vocal modes. Now, what does vocal modes mean? Vocal modes simply means that the pedagogy that you're training has organized the ideas and the techniques into categories and groups, has set them up into different groups. For example, in my school at the Vocalist Studio, we teach two kinds of modes: physical modes and acoustic modes. The physical modes are a set of laryngeal configurations, the way the larynx is sort of literally physically set up to produce a certain result, a certain acoustic effect, and a certain physical endurance benefit. Okay, so for example, one of the modes that are recognized but we don't use in singing is what I'm doing right now. This is called speech mode, okay? The way my larynx is set up, the way the vocal folds are adducting and playing off each other, and other elements define a physical configuration we call speech mode, all right? As I said, you're not going to use speech mode much in singing at all, but the modes that you will use in singing that require a little more study and training and practice are twang, okay? And in particular, cry vocal mode. Now, cry mode is absolutely, probably the most important technique in my 25 plus years of training I have ever learned for myself or taught. You must learn how to command and control the cry reflex in the context of singing. Now, I understand that might sound a little abstract to you right here if you haven't seen it before, but inside my program, inside the course, you're going to learn all about it, and you're going to learn some great techniques to get into it, to feel it through the kinesthetics, and become great at commanding and controlling the cry reflex so that you can be a better singer. Now, let's get back to the modes. Cry vocal mode is an acoustic mode because it defines a certain position of the vocal folds, okay? Now, there's another set of modes that we teach at TVS and some coaches teach, and it's called acoustic modes. Sort of the same idea, but in the world of resonance and acoustics. So, for example, these three singing vowels, hey, ha, ho, those are three acoustic modes, all right? So when we talk about acoustic modes, we're just talking about singing vowels and resonance in groups and categories. When we talk about physical modes, we're talking about literally physical configurations of the larynx and the vocal folds in different configurations that help us to sing better and solve problems. So let's bring this all back. A coach in a school that offers vocal mode pedagogy is giving you powerful tools to advance your understanding of how the voice works, to train techniques that actually build the motor skills and the strength for singing, and to troubleshoot problems in your voice, all right? So it is critical that you have products, books, courses, coaches, schools that understand vocal mode pedagogy and offer their teaching and their techniques in that approach. It makes a world of difference. All right, so I hope that's helpful for you. Take it to heart. What I just shared with you is super important. Find that and you have a great program and a great coach. And yeah, by the way, I happen to be one of the coaches that do offer these things. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not, but even if you decide not to work with me in the Vocalist Studio in our program, go find a coach and program that can offer you those things or some of those things, and you'll be in better shape. Thank you.
Most singers have a huge problem singing from the chest voice through the vocal break and into the head voice without pushing, without squeezing, without choking, without experiencing instability problems, and without sounding weak and windy on top. I know this because I dedicated my life to helping singers learn how to fix that problem. My name is Robert Lunte, and I'm the founder of the Vocalist Studio. Work with my training program, and if you do your part in practice, I guarantee you'll fix that problem. I look forward to hearing from you.